The advice and opinions expressed by the host of Autism Live and her guests are meant solely as suggestion and should not be in any way construed as child-specific advice. Any choices you make in determining your child's treatment are completely at your own discretion.
Good morning and welcome to Autism Live. I'm Shannon Penrod and I'm coming to you live on location. For the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be doing the Autism Live show, on location at some of our card offices. So I'm going to apologize in advance that you may hear some background noises. I am currently in the Santa Clarita office of the card center that is in Santa Clarita, and thrilled to be here already this morning. Got to meet with the staff, and kiddos are starting to arrive, and so I'm not in a soundproof ring. Is what I'm going to say to you, but thrilled to be here. Got a great guest that we're going to have joining us in just a little while. Next week, I'm also going to be on location. We can play Where's Waldo? Where's Shannon? Where in the world is Shannon? I'm not going to tell you which card center I'm going to be at, and I'll reveal it when I'm there next week. So happy to be here. But anyway, we've got a great guest who's coming up in just a little while. Did I say Happy New Year? This is the first Autism Live in the new year. I am struggling with accepting as a person that it's 2026. That doesn't seem right to me. It seems like that's something in a science fiction novel. But I'm excited about a lot of the things that I know the different teams that I'm on are working on for 2026, both for Autism Live, for Ask Dr. Doreen, and some of the things that we're working on at CARD, and with other autism organizations that I have a foot in. I think what's amazing is that people are amazing people, creative people. Chris Desmond, perfect example, creative person who came into this community in a very interesting way, but they are so committed to helping those of you who are needing lots of help and support. So thrilled to be working with all these types of people and to hear all their ideas. And I'm excited to be a part of it when I can be. And I love that we just keep moving forward. That's what we're going to do. We're going to keep moving forward. So anyway, we're live right now on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. You guys can be writing in. Chris is able to give me any questions or comments that you write in the chat. And I'm happy to be here with you guys. As I mentioned, we have a great guest that Anthony Vasquez is going to be joining us. Anthony is kind of a touchstone for us. He has been on the show. This might be the fourth time. We'll have to ask him when he's here. But giving us insights into his life as a performer. He's a Spec Labs performer, and I love, we used to, on a regular basis, have the teachers from Spec Labs, the founders of Spec Labs, be on the show, but I love now we have their students on, and I think that's a really good way of showcasing what it is that they do. So we're going to look forward to hearing from him about what's new at Spec Labs and what are the things that he's been up to, and touching base with him as we start this year of 2026. Obviously, I mentioned Chris Desmond, our fabulous Chris Desmond. He's at the helm right now, keeping the fort down while I'm remote from my laptop at this card center. But Chris is there. You guys, we're live right now on all those places I was talking about, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. We are also available as a free download wherever you get your podcasts. So please check that out. For when you download our podcast, and we know that by far is our biggest audience, folks who listen to us in the car, wherever you are. When you do the free download, you can get it absolutely free. And we love the fact that we're starting in our 16th year of that. However, you will get ads. I mean, we're all grown-ups. We know how that works, right? And I hope that you embrace those ads. Because those are people that are making it possible for us to make it a free download. If that's not your thing, though, if you really are wanting, and some of you have written to me and said, Shannon, I'm on the treadmill. I pay a little bit just so that I don't have to hear the ads. We get you. We've got you. all you have to go is to go to glow.fm/autism-live. Now, here's the fun thing. When you do that, you are able to get everything we do at the Autism Network. That's Autism Live, that's Ask Dr. Green, any live event that we do, anything that we do at all, you're able to get that. It shows up in your inbox as soon as we publish it, and there's no ads, and it's a $5 a month cost to you. And you'll never have to go looking for what show did they do this week? I don't know where it is. Where can I find it? It's there in your inbox, and you can listen to it at your leisure, as they say. So I hope that you will check that out. The chat is open now, so if you have questions about anything under the sun, please feel free to write in. I know I just was looking on Facebook for a second, and somebody had written in the question, how do people pay for ABA therapy in the United States? And I don't know whether this is a person who is writing internationally and that's why they're asking, but the answer to the question is that it's all insurance. Now, it could be that it's your employer insurance that's paying for it. It could be one of the state-sponsored plans. It could be your state Medicare plan. But I don't know anyone who pays for ABA out-of-pocket in the United States. And sometimes your state has different pockets from which they can pay for it. Like in California, we have the regional centers. And while that's really not the norm anymore, when my son was getting treatment, it was all regional center funding because insurance was not a thing for autism back then. Yes, the dark ages, 20 years ago. But in fact, we're next week, I think, I'm doing the math. Yeah, next week it is the 20th anniversary of when my son was diagnosed. It's been a minute, 2 decades. So things are substantially different. But regional center in some extreme cases, if nobody is eligible for everything else, has been known to still pay occasionally. And different states have different things. But the point is there's a way. And if you don't know the way for your state, you can start by writing in and asking us, and we'll point you in the right direction for your state. Obviously, in California, we know it like the back of our hands because this is where we live and do the show. But there are several states that we know pretty well what the program is. And if we don't know in your state, we know who to call. So how's that for, we're here for you. All right. So if you've watched the show before, that when we have guests, we like to start off the show with something we fondly refer to as jargon of the day. We do this for very specific reasons, and we've been doing it now starting into the 16th year. And I love the fact that when we started, it was make or break, right? Because I don't know about all of you, or you can hear kids are arriving. I don't know if you're picking up on that, but there's a lot of celebration happening. Okay, so we started doing jargon of the day because, you'd walk into a meeting to find it with your doctor or the school or with anybody and ask them questions about your child's diagnosis, and they would start using a bunch of words that you'd never heard before. And it was hard in the beginning. I was like, where's the dictionary with all of these things? Where's the place online that you go to find out all of these things? So we decided that it was important to do jargon of the day because how do you eat an elephant? Because you can't learn all this jargon in one weekend, right? You eat an elephant one bite at a time. So every day we were taking one individual term, giving you the actual definition and then kind of breaking it down for you. And in the beginning, we would make fun of those actual definitions because they were redonkulous. You would need 13 dictionaries and 2, MBAs and 3 BCBAs to be able to get to the bottom of it. And it's gotten better. That's just the long and the short of it. I think that we and a lot of other people railed at so many professionals for so long and said, hey, how about you backpedal on the jargon and tell us what it really is? It's gotten significantly better. So now we like to give you at least 2, and today we're going to give you 3 different definitions so that you can compare and contrast because there's nuances to things. And because we're starting in 2026, we wanted to start at the beginning. And apparently we haven't done this in a couple of years, but today's jargon term is autism. What is autism? Now, this is a question we've been asking people from the beginning of time. And so I'm going to start by showing you, I'm not sure which one we go. Show us which one is first, Chris. Okay. And I am blind as a bat. So we're going to start with the AI definition, the Google AI definition. And I asked for it in simple terms. They had two different definitions and I asked for it in simple terms. And it says, in simple terms, autism. And here's what's very interesting to me, that they were saying that it's interchangeable, that autism and autism spectrum disorder, or ASD, they're interchangeable terms. I don't particularly feel that way, but we'll continue on. In simple terms, autism means a person's brain works differently, affecting how they communicate, interact socially, and experience the world, often involving intense focus on specific interests, repetitive behaviors like hand flapping, and sensitivity to sounds or lights, making social cues and changes tricky. But it's a broad spectrum with unique strengths for each individual. Now, I'm just going to spoiler alert and say I don't like this definition. I don't like it for a couple of different reasons, but let's start with the one that says a person's brain works differently. And listen, I have used that term before, but let's understand what it's saying. We're saying it works differently than my brain. And I have wonderful friends who have said to me, think about how ableist it is to say that somebody else's brain, if it works differently than yours, then it's different. Like we just have to be aware of the fact that just because your brain works in one way and somebody else's brain works in a way that is different doesn't mean that your way is better. It doesn't. It does not mean that. So important to make that distinction. But when we put it in a definition like this, it really makes it sound like, oh, well, it's a difference, which in some way, I'll be honest with you, it's the thing that I don't love about divergent, because that means that, oh, there is one way and you've diverged from it. And I think there's many ways. I also don't like how pigeonholed we get about some of the different things. I know lots of people who are not on the spectrum that intensely focus on a specific interest because they're passionate about it, right? I know lots of people that don't fit into the categories that this definition, but there it is. It's a starting place, right? Let's go on to the next definition, which we would hope would be better because it's from the National Autistic Society. That is in the UK National Autistic Society. And it says autism influences how people experience and interact with the world. Okay. It is a lifelong neurodivergence and disability. Autistic people are different from each other, but for a diagnosis, they must share differences from non-autistic people in how they think, feel, and concentrate. Okay. I like it I like it more than the other, but it's still, to me, this is not the heart of the matter. And I do have a knee-jerk reaction. I am well aware that ASD is a disability, that it is classified as a disability. This is where I get a little about the difference between autism and autism spectrum disorder. Because I know people that consider themselves on the spectrum and that they were diagnosed with autism that do not feel that at this point in their lives that it's disabling them. And I like to make room for that in a definition. So let's go on to our third definition, which is the autism-live definition. And I'm not sure about this, and I would like everybody's opinion about this, but for right now, we're saying in 2026 that ASD, which, autism or ASD, is a neurodevelopmental condition that influences communication, social interactions, sensory experiences, thoughts, and behaviors. That because of the way that the brain is wired, which is not necessarily less, more, better, whatever, it impacts, it has an influencing factor for those interactions. Now, it cannot be denied that for some people, it can be so impactful that it is disabling. And I mean, like, profoundly disabling. If you are not able to access the ability to communicate, I need to whatever, fill in the blank. I need to sleep. I need to rest. I need warmth. I'm too hot. I need to be fed. I need space. If you do not have the ability to communicate those things, your life is going to be harder. And so therefore, it can be considered disabling. Now, that is not everyone. And I think it's important to note that sometimes being able to look at things from a different perspective and we've seen that it can be very much a strength. So I think getting into this mindset of, well, it has to be in a box that's either disabling or not confounds me. I don't think that accurately describes the people in my life that I love and respect. But it's certainly, there are many of you who write into us on a regular basis and say, people don't talk about the kind of autism that my child has, that, they aren't able to sleep. They aren't able to recognize when they need to go to the bathroom and need help being wiped off. And, those things can be there as well, but it is not everyone. That spectrum is quite large, which makes it hard for the rest of the world to understand when we talk about autism, what is it and what isn't it, because it's this huge spectrum. But, part of our work and our mission here at Autism Live is to shed light on all the corners, talk about the huge breadth of it, and hopefully come up with ways that we can be better allies. We always say here at Autism Live that our mission is to provide information and inspiration to that larger autism community that, of course, starts with individuals who are themselves on the spectrum and then includes everybody who loves those individuals. That's what we're about. That's what we're here about. So, having said that, I'm looking at the time. It is about time for us to bring in our fabulous guest. So if you've been watching the show for a few years, you've seen Anthony Vasquez before on our show. He is an amazing young man who's living his life and doing all kinds of things. We love to get an update from him from time to time about what he's doing. We'll hear about hopefully his life, his work life, and about the work that he is doing as a Spec Labs artist. So without further ado, let's welcome back to the show, Anthony Vasquez. Anthony, hello, how are you?
Shannon, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so glad that it worked out. You're our first guest of the new year, because we didn't talk to you. We haven't talked for 9 months, a year, close to that. Sorry.
Sorry, hold on a second. My phone.
Oh, because it's live, you guys.
Yeah, I thought my phone was letting me know it's time to go.
Oh,
so it's 2 years since I've been on the show.
Has it? Where did the time go? That's crazy. Well, so happy to be here with you, and you've got a lot of updates. First of all, how you like in 2026?
I think so good so far.
Okay, all right. Now I know you've got some updates for us about everything you've been doing with Spec Labs. Do you want to start by telling maybe somebody's watching today that's never seen the show before, and tell them what Spec Labs is?
Sure. I'll provide you the definition and the contact info in case they're interested.
Awesome.
So the Spectrum Laboratory, yes, it's a nonprofit organization for individuals with special needs regarding voiceover acting, live action acting, with film and acting, and music, with songwriting, and our famous Spec Band.
Fantastic. And now, who's in the Spec Band? Are you in the Spec Band?
Oh no, not even nervous. Because starting last year, I started focusing on just acting with Jason Weisbrod and Kathy McCauley.
Okay.
Yes.
And is there a reason why you wanted to move towards the acting?
Yeah, I wanted to get more experiences so I can become a better actor.
Okay. Because that's it. This is kind of new to me. Is that the big aspiration now, that you want to be an actor?
Yes. And before I jump into the topics of Spec Labs, just to get the contact info out of the way,
Yes.
because they can go on to www.speclabs.org, which is their website.
Yeah.
And for their email address, it's called the Spectrum Laboratory at gmail.com. So whatever the reason, that's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I often would get confused and I would say the Spec Laboratory. And then I learned you either say Spec Labs or the Spectrum Laboratory. It's either all or they're really short. And I try to stick to that in respect for all the amazing work that they do. Because as you mentioned, they do classes, they do performances, they do videos, they do all kinds of things. Sometimes they hire people or help them to get work. It's an amazing place. Over the years, I've watched what they've done, and I'm always impressed. I don't always get out to the performances, but I hear such amazing things. And you guys have done a bunch of performances lately. Tell the audience about what you guys have done lately.
Yes. So after the 2023 holiday season, Gareth and Jason started adding these sessions related to seasons, winter, spring, and fall. And this is kind of new to you because they just started doing that 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. I didn't, because I know you guys have been doing something called Speckoween.
Every fall.
And it always, we do our big All Rules Gala, and it always falls that either you guys are doing it like the night before All Rules Gala when we're busy setting up, or you do it the night after when we are exhausted and can't move. So I've never been to Speckoween, but I hear great things about it. Tell our audience about Speckoween.
Yes. Speckoween is a fan annual comedy production where the Speckoween collaborates with the comedies and sketch acting class. Yeah. So what I was going to say is, so in winter of 2024 and the winter session January through March, we started having more performance opportunities. And for Spec Band 1, not Spec Band 1, Spec Band 2, for the winter session, I did songs Dreams by Fleetwood Mac, Wild Life by the Talking Heads, and Love Shack by the B-52s.
Nice.
Yep.
All from my era. I love it when people your age like music from my era.
Nice.
I don't know why that surprises me, but I love that. Do you like that music?
Oh, yeah. So we practiced those for 2 months straight, and then we had music production. We started doing called March Jamboree. We did it at in Hollywood's Barnsdall Gallery Theater.
And I heard that was a great venue. Did you think so?
I did too. And then for the spring session of spring 2024, because that's when it started, we did the songs called "Schools Out for Summer" by Alice Cooper, "Kids" by MGMT, "Buddy Holly" by Weezer, and then "Slow Down" by Mars Mouse.
All right.
Yeah. So
what of all those things that you've mentioned, what's your favorite type of music?
My favorite type of music, genre-wise,
or of anything, which one were you the most excited? You were like, oh, good, I love this.
Love Shack, Buddy Holly, and Jim Ron.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very eclectic. Very okay.
And
so when you are doing a show like that, excuse me, and you're you guys are rehearsing, how long do you rehearse before you do that show? Is it like a couple of weeks or a couple of months?
So I said 2 months. 2 months every Wednesday. And then on the Saturdays, we do a sound check that doesn't last that long at the venue. Yeah. So those songs, we did. We put that at this venue called Billfish in Highland Park. I did it just before Father's Day of 2024.
Okay. All right. And then what was next? Since we're catching up.
Yes. So that 2024. So just a heads up, so it's not confusing. I would say the first time I was being a musician and an actor. Yeah, I was in spec bands and Jason's acting classes. And band is with Guy Herbig. Yeah. So we were doing our annual Halloween production called Speckaloo, like I mentioned. But before I get to that, believe it or not, in 2024 I was Mario character. This time Mario, the red one, because the year before I was his brother Luigi. You remember that?
Sorry, I was coughing. I do remember that. That's very cute.
Yeah.
And I hope people realize that, not only is this a great experience for you as a performer and having these opportunities to perform and rehearse, but it seems like to me, watching you guys, there's also a social element to it, Anthony. Can you talk a little bit about that? Is this like when you go to rehearsal or do a performance, is this where your friends are? And do you guys, is it something that's really fun for you?
Funny thing in the past year, yes. It's a lot of fun. The audience members, friends and families, they love seeing the artists performing, which is their family members too, that they're supporting.
But are these people that you're performing with now your friends?
Yeah. Ever since I started Spec Labs, yes.
And do you guys hang out outside of class and outside of performances?
Yeah, we've done that before a whole bunch of times. Okay. Yeah.
Because I think that's important, that there's an aspect to this that, it's great experience and it's great, getting ready for being a working artist, but there's also a really important social component to working on something with other people that, they become the people that you rely on, that you talk to if you're maybe having a bad day. And I think that a lot of times people forget that that's a part of this as well. So I'm glad to hear that because I think watching you that you've made some good friends at Spec Labs, people that you're, are going to be your friends for life.
For that.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Okay, so I interrupted you. You keep going.
Yeah, these are actually good questions, so I'm very happy to asking them. Yeah. So for the Spec Band, I was at Spec Band 3 because, I keep moving my way up from Spec Band 1 to Spec Band 3.
So you're leveling up.
Yeah. For the highway songs we did Where's My Mind by the Pixies. Where's My Mind?
Very cool.
Yep. Spooky Scary Skeletons by Andrew Gold. That one was really funny because certain lines make me laugh with that one.
Okay.
That when you hear the zombie shriek.
Okay. Don't do much more than that because we don't want to be a copyright infringement here. Right? No, it's okay. But I love that you love what you're performing. What else?
And for the band, we also did Rivers of London by Warren Zevon.
Oh, that's a favorite of mine. That's really fun.
Yep, and we were back at the Barnesdale Gallery Theater in Hollywood, as Jason Gard like to pronounce it like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then,
so that was in that. Wait a minute. So that was in October of 2024. Or are we in 2025 yet?
Yeah, we're going to be in 2025 soon.
Okay.
Yeah, and as far as yeah, and also for the first time because I became a first time actor in Jason's improv class that session. For comedy, we gathered Hollywood suggestions from the audience and then we acted them out together in our costumes. As I mentioned, I was Mario.
Awesome.
Yep. So I was wearing red.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And I love improv, Anthony. I used to do comic improv, on the regular. And I used to teach comic improv. I love improv, and I think it's one of the best possible things that anybody can be doing. But what do you like about it?
Oh, and having a lot of fun and making people laugh
Yeah.
and playing different characters.
I also think it's great for developing communication skills because, improv is a lot like life. There's no script. And we have to think about, what am I going to say next? Like, I have to think, what's my next question for Anthony? And I think when you do improv and it's funny, so even if if something goes wrong, it's funny. It teaches us that we can be brave and be bold and start a conversation with somebody, and we don't have to always be perfect. That's my philosophy. So do you find that for you, that it's helping you to build skills that you use in your life and at work?
Yes, communication skills, because I communicate a lot with people.
You're a great communicator, but let's face it, we can all get better at it. And I think that's why I'm saying improv is good for everybody. Absolutely everybody. Okay, so I diverted you. So you started doing the improv, and is that what got you wanting to do more acting?
At first, now we get into on-camera acting, which I also started doing.
Okay.
So my first time I did acting with Jason Weisbrod was also 2024. Found fall that year. They are currently working for those two acting classes at the Victory Theater in Burbank.
Okay.
Yeah. And for my first few scenes I did that session, I believe it or not, this is the first movie I got to do with my favorite one, Jurassic Park from 1993, the video version one.
Okay, so did you guys filmed a scene from it?
Yes. It's called Meeting the Dinosaurs. I actually played the main character, Dr. Alan Graham by Sam Neill.
Yeah.
I played him, and there is one of the paleontologists and the boyfriend of Ellie Sattler, who's by Laura Dern.
Yes. So you were doing the scene where you meet the dinosaurs. So here's my question to you, because a lot of those scenes, when the actors were doing it, they didn't really have the dinosaur. It was green screen. Were you guys, also using a green screen?
No, we were actually on the stage.
And did you have a dinosaur to relate to, or you were just pretending?
Pretending there was a dinosaur. I was just
the same thing you would do if it was a green screen, right? So that's important work. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. I was sitting down on a stool with my classmates because they were playing the other characters. Riley Christensen, she was playing Ellie Sattler, and some other people were playing the one other character, Hamlin, Dr. John Hamlin. He was played by this an artist at Spec Labs.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And how did it go?
It was good. Nailed it. Jason Weisler was so proud of me.
I was so thrilled to hear that. And how did you feel for yourself doing that?
I feel good because I've seen the movie a bunch of times. I grew up with dinosaurs. And then to wrap up 2024, the last scene I did was, weird science. I forget which actors are in that movie, but I played Riot in that movie, and somebody else, a new person named Jose Paris, he was playing Gary.
Okay, and how did that go?
It went pretty good.
Of the two scenes, which one was more fun for you?
A Jurassic Park, because I got used to dinosaurs.
Okay, love that. Okay,
that was 2024.
Okay, and so
2025.
Okay.
Yeah, my very final round of being both musician and as actor before I started on acting.
Okay.
And I had a good time. I just wanted to take on new challenges.
And remind us, what instrument were you playing?
I was just singing. My real spots was my instrument.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
All right. So you still were doing some of that at the beginning of 2025?
Yes. And then for spring 2025, was my very last round of being a musician. Which is a good thing, because change is good.
Yeah,
We
it is.
we did Hot to Go by Chaperone. Do you know that?
I don't know that one.
My Sharona by the Neck.
I know that one.
Zombie by the Cranberries.
Okay.
And then I Want to Rock by Twisted Sister.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so Twisted Sister, I Want to Rock was like Goofy Goober from SpongeBob, because it was very similar to that song from the very first movie.
How funny. I've never really thought about that. I run into the lead singer of Twisted Sister all the time. Like, I go places and he's always there. It's the craziest thing. And that, we live in Los Angeles. And so, that's not that uncommon. But then I went to Vegas and I went to the Omega Mart, which is just one attraction. And there he was. I was like, is this guy following me or what? But anyway, he would love to know that you're doing him justice. So that's wonderful. So of those 4 songs that you did, which one was your favorite, Anthony?
I liked, if I had to pick, My Sharona.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was my brother's favorite. It is not my favorite because my brother, when it came out, we had records back then, not CDs and not MP3s. And he would play that song literally until the record melted. And so it's one of those songs that I hear and I go, oh, because I heard it too many times in a row. But he loved it too. So I understand that. Okay, so that was the spring. And you said they don't do a summer thing. They do spring, fall, and winter. Is that correct?
Sometimes they do summer stuff, but not often.
Okay. So that was the spring of 2025.
Yeah. And I also did on-camera acting as well that round. I actually did 3 scenes.
Okay.
So I take that back. 2 scenes.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually from 2 of my favorite Ben Stiller movies, Night at the Museum that he's done.
Oh, nice.
So so the first thing I did with Jason was the first movie, Teddy Roosevelt scene where I played Larry Daly, where me and my son Nick were trapped inside the film of Aquanaut, where the villains lock us in there so they can steal the tablet and accomplish their goals.
So that's, correct me if I'm wrong, that's Nightmare at the Museum 2.
Night at the Museum Part 1.
Is it? He's there with his son in Part 1? Okay. All right. I know nothing then. Okay. So, all right. And then what was the other scene?
Yep. And I actually reprised my role as Larry Daly again, the night guard of the Natural History Museum in New York. Yep. And I reprised my role, and I was married again with my classmate who was playing Bellington, that security guard at the museum in Washington, D.C.
There we go.
Smithsonian.
Wonderful. And you had a good time, obviously, because it was so fun that you decided to focus more on that than the singing, it sounds like.
Yep. That was my last round. Yeah. So Jason Weisbrod picked he picks movies that I'm comfortable and was familiar with, but sometimes he challenges me, which is a good thing for me to get comfortable with stuff I might not be aware of that he is.
Yeah.
Jason Weisbrod, he's such a nice guy.
Well, and it's a hallmark of a good teacher, right? That he's, making sure that you're comfortable, but also making sure that you're being challenged.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful thing. Now, here's a touchy subject, but I'm sure somebody's going to write in and ask this. To do all these classes, are you paying tuition or do you have self-determination that pays for it? Do you know, Anthony, where that comes from?
Self-determination. So I'm paying tuition, like paying out of pocket for now.
Okay. All right.
Self-determination. Sorry.
But you work and, it's like anybody else choosing to take classes and feed their creative life. I respect that wholly, Anthony. That's a wonderful thing. But what were you saying about self-determination?
Self-determination, yeah, I'm actually in the process of getting that. So then they can pay for my classes for me.
That'd be awesome.
Because that's what they do.
Yeah. Okay, so now are we at fall in 2025? Am I clocking this right?
Yep. And then we'll look to Tiago also, but that's a very brief topic.
Okay.
So this is where things get really interesting. You might never have heard of it before. That's when I transitioned from being a musician in Garth's department, because, he's in charge of that, to Jason's department and Kathy McCauley's department. Kathy McCauley is the one that does the voice acting department.
And she's a powerhouse.
Oh, yeah.
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 Sharp lady. Okay, so tell us what happened.
Yeah. It's actually a good interview. I like it. Thank you so much.
Well, I'm enjoying it too. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So what happened in these classes with Jason and with this voiceover teacher that just made you change your focus?
Yeah. So before we get to that, this past summer, we actually moved to a new studio in Burbank from Fever in North Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We are now located in Burbank, called Step Lab Studios for music classes and voiceover classes.
Cool.
And,
Do you do the acting classes someplace else?
yeah, acting, Jason's classes too, I mentioned, it's at the Victory here in Burbank, like I mentioned.
Okay,
Yeah.
so everything is in Burbank, but in separate addresses.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'll get to more of that later.
Okay. I love Burbank. Burbank is really centrally located for a lot of people. Is it easier for you to get to the Burbank studios?
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't that
Right. I'll stop interrupting. You tell me what's next.
So this is now the Fab 2025 fast session. I did a movie I never seen before. It was from the 80s. Crazy Love. This thing was called a very new Joe. I actually played Jacob. It was kind of going crazy to another person because he was punctual. Punctual. I forgot what it was though, but that was a good scene. I had to be sarcastic, peaceful, just in my voice was, and I had to slow down because I was talking kind of fast.
Okay.
Yeah, Jason Marshall for on-camera acting. He sends us scenes from YouTube of movies that he wants us to know our lines and our characters from. Because it's not a camera. You have to know your lines in order to be good of an actor.
Absolutely. So the role that you were playing, would that be the Adam Sandler role, or is that who played the role in the original movie? Do you remember?
Ryan something. It's from the 80s.
Yeah, Ryan. Yeah. Okay. It's not Ryan Reynolds, right?
I don't think so.
It doesn't matter who it is, but anyway, just wondered. Okay, so you did that. You did Crazy Love.
Yeah.
Okay, and how did that go?
Good. Jason Weisberg and myself, we call the days we film performances, our own personal performances. It's not like a big crowd that come out and watch us do our work.
Yeah, you film.
Yeah.
But that's wonderful. Do you like those days?
Yep. He does those every semester.
And are those days more stressful or just more exciting?
Yeah. You're exciting. I take back what I said. It's actually a 2011 movie, and he's played by Ryan Gosling.
Gosling, that's who it is. Okay, yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I've never seen.
All right. And so, what else did you do?
Yeah. And for the last scene I did, Jim Carrey's Bruce Almighty from 2003.
All right.
Yeah, I played another Freeman's God. The creator of the earth and heaven.
Yeah.
And the one that gives Bruce his powers. So that was a good one. It was a lot of learning lines. But I always nail my students, so Jason's always proud of me.
Yay. I love hearing that. Okay, so what now?
Yeah. And then Steve, I'm gonna show you a black logo I have. See this black logo?
Yes.
Yep. Polly's method, and that's the name of the logo. And this past round on a Fall 2025 was like the first time somebody was being in the voiceover classes. We're touching a copy.
Really like that.
I did. And each recordings, and we were there like auditions for a weekly scripts we got regarding the 2025 Halloween season.
Yeah. And so voiceover is a whole other thing. My husband's a voiceover actor.
Yeah.
And in my life, I'm not good at voiceover because having the earphones on, being in the booth, I don't know why. I don't hear my voice really well. But the people that I know that love voiceover think it's the best thing ever. Are you one of those people that it's just like so much fun?
Yeah, myself, Atticus Baldwin, Dominic Brown, Tyler Berman, Mallory Reese, and Jake Tangian, just to name a few.
Yeah, I know those people. So
Yeah.
you guys are really then wanting to do voiceover professionally, am I right?
Yeah, that's what we're going towards, I mean.
Okay. So you guys are doing weekly, and do you guys get into the booth and you record those things?
Yeah, we are in this thing called different voiceover levels. Okay, because there's a lot of levels to go to work your way up in all particular terms being a professional actor.
Okay, so what level are you on right now?
The last round, I did the beginner's level. Now it's been moving up with my classmates to the intermediate level.
Okay, so moving up.
Yeah.
Moving up. And at what point are you looking at, getting an agent? Or I know a lot of voiceover work now. My husband, there's a service that's called Voice 123, and he gets auditions that he can do from home. Are you guys talking about that kind of stuff, or that doesn't come till advanced?
Okay. I'm not too sure yet because beginners and voiceover intermediate levels, that is, we're doing these things called scripts. We're highlighting, chunking them, and circling them.
Okay.
These are the ones I've done during this past round, all regarding the Halloween season.
Okay. Do you want to do one for us right now? Do you want to read one?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah. So the ones I did were Six Flags Magic Mountain Halloween, which Demon Hunters promo.
Okay.
What else did I do? The Hogwarts Dragons Rising Season 3 promo. Pokemon Legends, the April, Sonic Shadow Team Up Scene.
Okay, my personal one that I want to hear is the K-pop Demon Hunter promo. But which one would you rather read?
The one let's do your first.
Okay.
When the world is swallowed by darkness, only they can rise. The hunter, a trio of girls bound by destiny, forged in fire. Every beat is a battle, and every move a strike. By day, they rule the stage, but by night, they hunt demons. But their greatest rival hides a deadly secret. The hunt begins. I'm ready to join them.
I love it. It's wonderful. I love how, clearly you're already using your voice to create imagery and to create, that we're feeling the atmosphere. This is great, Anthony. I'm so excited for you as you journey forward with this. Now, you mentioned that Tyler is in that class, and we've had Tyler on the show before, and Tyler really understands the persistence piece. That Tyler's like, we have a friend who says, be a dog on a pork chop. And Tyler, I know when they went to do the autism and entertainment, that he was like, I'm going to do voiceover for that. And he kept contacting them and saying, I really want to be the voiceover actor for this, until they hired him. Are you that way too, Anthony, or are you just learning that?
I'm doing that. So I have a good feeling that because we have those season sessions, I'll be able to move up each time the classes begin.
So you mentioned, so now you guys are in the spring season, right? Technically it's winter.
Yes.
But you're going to perform in the spring. So you mentioned that you're doing intermediate voiceover. What other classes are you taking during this spring?
Yes. So last year and this year was kind of different as opposed to when we first explained about the seasons. Just like last year, certain classes will be in the winter and it will be over to the fall. But then other classes will be both winter, spring, and then fall. But others just spring until fall time.
Okay. So what are you actually taking?
Well, believe it or not, like I said, we started intermediate acting. It's winter, spring, and fall. Right now, I'm just going by one season at a time. I'm doing the winter session, which actually starts this Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I'm yet to hear back from Jason Weisberg, but I did sign up on Veterans Day last year. Because, I never signed up on a holiday before. I signed up for this potential short film production class that he does just spring and fall.
And they do some amazing stuff with their short films. I love their, was it Boys Don't Wear Dresses? Was that
Yeah, he does Spectrum movie, Boys Don't Wear Dresses, and also other films they've done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they do music videos too. They're very eclectic and wonderful. Anthony, if people are watching and maybe they are somebody that is, a young adult and they are feeling like stuck at home and not really having things to go to, or if there's a parent watching who has a child, they're not a child anymore, they're adults, that's at home and not getting out and doing things, how much would you tell them this has affected your life in a positive way?
I'm saying that this has affected my life a lot in a positive way, like so much that it's just a wonderful program. I've done wonderful things with them, new friends, and had great teachers.
I love that. Now, we've got very limited time left. We've only got like 7 minutes left. So we need to love Spec Labs. We got to move on because we want you to talk about Tierra del Sol.
Tierra del Sol.
Talk about work. So tell us.
Tierra del Sol, yes. Do you remember when I was last on your show, I mentioned to you they have this program called Nurse Development?
Yeah.
Well, during that time, I was on your show the last 2 times, I was in the work department 50. But now, after Thanksgiving weekend ended, we moved into department 50C. So, NLC.
All right. You're moving up.
Yeah.
And so what kinds of things do you do there?
Virtual classes 5 days a week from home.
Okay.
So this is like my home office.
And the goal in taking these classes is what?
We learn about work skills and we learn about entertaining stuff.
Okay.
And work exercising too.
But you're also already working.
Yeah. I sent you the email about that. Did you see it?
I think so, yes. I'm not sure. So tell our audience, you want to talk about where you work, not necessarily the location, but what company you work for?
Yeah, just a company, Smart and Final.
Yeah, which I love to shop at Smart and Final. We just had a bunch of, gatherings during the holidays, and I was at Smart and Final. And what do you do there, Anthony?
I don't know, customer service, like go back, stairs through, cart runs, managing and cleaning the restrooms in the break room, as well as helping customers when they need it, which I'm a very good employee of doing all those things.
I certainly, think you'd be a great member of the team. And what do you love the most about working?
Stalking, that's my favorite task.
A lot of people would say getting the paycheck. And that's the most fun part about working. But I love that there are parts of your job that you love more. That's a wonderful thing. But getting the paycheck is a good thing too, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I think it's remarkable. We're really close to being out of time. Is there anything we left out of this interview?
So I just want to give a little a rundown how potentially people who are looking for something to do and are willing to make friends or want to meet new friends, Spec Labs, is a great way to do that. And there are a couple of ways that they can actually reach out, and hopefully they can hear back either from Gareth, Jason, or Kathy. Okay, artists, potential artists who want to join and viewers, you can go on to speclabs.org. Look at their classes on the main homepage. It's called www.speclabs.org. The program is called Spectrum Laboratory. Spec Labs, we call it for short. Is there any way, Shannon, we can show the website on screen?
It is showing right now. It was first he showed the Spec Labs, and then he showed the Spectrum. There it is again. Yep, we're showing them right now.
Oh, the Spectrum Laboratory is like spectrumlaboratory@gmail.com is their email that they can reach out to Gareth or Jason or Kathy. Hopefully they can respond to them.
Perfect. Any other last? You got like about 1 minute.
Yep, Spectrum. Yeah, so it's been a great journey that I'm focusing on just acting now. Get some first time gigs because I did a lot of performances and I was a musician every round.
Yeah. What's your biggest hope for 2026?
My biggest hope is to be in Jason Nice's potential short film class because I actually want to be in a film for the first time. I like their work they do.
Okay.
I'm yet to get back into.
I got to tell you something. Many years ago, Kobe Bird was 15 years old and he was on the show and he said, "I'd like to be a professional actor." And, it was within a year, he got his first speaking role on television. And then, of course, he went on to do 3 seasons on Lock and Key for Netflix. And then this last year, he was just on The Pit, which is winning all the awards. So I'm a big believer in saying what you want, and the universe sometimes hears it. But Anthony, we just really enjoy having you on the show. It's been lovely to catch up with you. Please tell everybody at Spec Labs that we say hello. And we will look forward to hearing what happens for you down the road, okay?
Yes, I'm kind of hoping I can come back on the show during my classes time so I can share with you what I'm doing.
Okay, well, we'll figure out when we can have you on again, but I sure appreciate you being our first guest this year.
Sure. I have your calendar Wednesday options, so maybe that can work out for me.
But we have that rule about it's got to be at least 6 months, because I got to have room for other people. But I appreciate you. But at least 6 months, okay?
So maybe back in June or July, I can come back?
Well, let's talk about it. Let's figure it out.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate you being with us.
All right. Take care. Bye, Shannon.
You too. I just want to give a programming note that next week I will be on location as well, and look forward to joining you guys from that. And we've got lots of big things coming up this year, a lot of great guests. I do want to point out that at the end of the month, we are finally going to have on the folks from EEG Go. For those of you who need to get the EEG, the sleep study, and, the thought of going and doing it someplace else for yourself or a child, excuse me, it's just overwhelming. And we're going to have those folks with us on the show talking about where they are now, that you might be able to contract them, and where they're getting ready to expand to. So, pardon me, I'm having a tickle in my throat. But great to be back, you guys. 2026, we're going to make this a banner year here at Autism Live. Well, I'm really looking at what are the conversations that we haven't had yet, who are the guests that we haven't had yet, and trying to make this our best year ever. So I appreciate all of you being here. And I want to say, give yourself a hug and give one to your kiddos at home. And we will see you soon. Until then, take care. Bye-bye for now. If you found anything helpful in this video, please give us a like. In fact, make sure that you smash that subscribe button on YouTube and give us a like on Facebook. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Instagram for important updates. And please download our free podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you so much. See you next time.